let's go live on YouTube. I forgot. Whoopsies. All right. Yeah, guys, I'm going to be honest. I don't think anything here is going to fix this. I think something in 427 is just like, maybe they messed up something and now the widgets just constantly have references to... The really funny thing is if I wanted to look in the patch notes for 427, unless, oh, hold on, let's see here. Let's go GitHub. 427 plus. What is the difference between 427 and 427 plus? Is there anything related to the widgets in here in 427 plus? I'm looking through for widgets to see if maybe they edited something in the widgets. Panel slot. Nope, nothing. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go into the assumption shit's fucked. Time to upgrade to 5.6. Imagine if a game did that. I guess some games are doing that, but they're like Arc and shit. Squad. I think that's a mistake, in my opinion. But I guess those games are in some way live service in some form. Has that gained them anything? Switching to UE5, has that like gained them any like positives? Squad actually runs way better now? Interesting. Interesting. You know, Nav, thinking about buying this game? Hey, hell yeah. Don't update the engine, you're supposed to work on the next game? I know, I'm not going to do that. I have no intention of doing that. I think that's just going to cause more problems than solve, to be honest. Especially as like modders are getting into this game a lot more, like I'm just going to leave it where it's at. I'll work on the next game. Guys, I'm going to be honest. I don't see anything that could be retaining the references, especially if we're clearing the children. Like maybe this not being added was not calling it for destruction. You know, maybe that was the problem. I heavily doubt it, but you know, you never know. Yeah, it's still calling it. So I don't know, man. I do not know. I think our best bet is just to pool this, turn it into a pool, figure out if we can add things back and forth. I think this bug is fixed by I think this bug fix is solved like this. Time lapse in game 15 minutes. Display message detected. Memory leak. Restart game. I just don't understand why it's not destroying it. I think what's going on is... Okay, here's my guess. I don't know how this works underneath the hood. When something gets destroyed, it's not actually getting destroyed. And so when tick is going through and ticking all the widgets, it's doing it in order. And it sees all of these dead objects, and that's why it's taking so long to get to the actual objects to tick. That's what I'm guessing. Making random assumption based off of my non-experience. I don't know how widgets work. I don't know if it's doing it. I don't think it's doing it on a separate thread. I'm pretty sure it's doing it all on CPU. Yeah, I don't know. How do you drive a car? I don't know. I don't have my license. So you're asking the wrong guy. You're asking the wrong guy. Pool manager seems to be the smartest. I do think so. I do think so. My only concern now is, let's say we do make the pool manager. I think the player HUD is technically being destroyed and recreated every time that we every time we we go into a new level. So I think we are still having the issue where we're retaining like widgets, because that seems to be the primary issue with this fucking engine version. So yeah. In game, you can't drive a car in game. The character doesn't have a driver's license either. Listen, there's two things that kill you in this game: trying to drive a car and walking in water. Okay. Are there examples of Unreal doing good mesh destruction? I don't know. They start next to a car in Toronto? Oh, someone drove you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't make the lore. There's a reason why there's no story in this game. Okay, so we're going to make a function called populate score pool. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Manny? Yo, Kibo? What's my favorite 3 games? That's like asking someone, what is the secret to life? You can't answer that fucking question. I don't know. Gmod got a random update today that makes it so you don't need to own Counter-Strike Source for Valve characters and assets. I feel like it makes sense with the fact that CS2 is free and everything, you know what I mean? I actually did a top 25. It's a brutal list to make. I just don't think that I just don't think, like, is it top 3 of current games? Like, the thing is, nostalgia is such a monster that can completely skew that entire fucking list. You know, because you could play those games that you love and adore now, and it's like you'll probably have a different experience with it, and so your top 3 is basically skewed. Top games of all time is hard to do, but top games right now is super easy. Yeah, like I could say Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, top 1. Old school RuneScape, or RuneScape, I guess. RuneScape 2. But it's like, would I play Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy nowadays? Probably not, because the servers are all dying. Battlefield 3. Modern Warfare 2, the old Modern Warfare 2. Balatro. Slay the Spire. But I don't know if I'd put those in order. Like, they're just games that I would say are my top games. I don't know. The Last of Us, when it first came out, was a pretty cool experience, because I remember I played it with my cousin on a PS3 in my grandparents' home back when they used to live in Canada. Outer Wilds 2 dropped their price down to $70 instead of $80. AAA's cooked, man. They're fucking cooked. They're so cooked. I don't know what they're doing. They're like cooked. Boom, 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 boom. People are calling the new skate game Fortnite slop because it's a different art style. Like that's fucking hilarious, dude. That's fucking hilarious. Oh, it's a different art style. It's not realistic. It's Fortnite slop. It's like, brother, can you at least come up with something different? Like, I don't know. Come up with something different. The crazy thing is that skate has never been realistic. I know. That's the funny thing. It's never been realistic. Gamers are also cooked. I honestly, gaming in general is just kind of cooked. Like, honestly, let's be real. Let's be gloomy. Let's be gloom and doom. People see non-realistic art style and they fucking flip out. Like, actually cooked. Like, go play FIFA or fucking NBA 25 or whatever the fucking game you're playing. Yeah. Listen, if the game is fun, I don't give a shit. As long as like the graphics complement the gameplay. That's it. Everything's cooked. We need to reboot the Earth. People are calling me an idiot for saying that I like the art style direction because it's not like the same fucking thing. And they're calling it Fortnite slop. This looks like Fortnite slop. It doesn't even look like... It doesn't even fucking look like Fortnite. Actually, like, maybe the character... Like, is that what people are focusing on? Is the character art? Is that like what they're focusing on? Honestly, for a pre-alpha, I think this has promise. As long as the lighting looks really good and there's like cool effects and whatever, and it honestly, I just want to play a fun fucking skate game. That's it. You got fuckers that are like, I want a skate simulator. It's like, bitch, this is skate, not fucking what's the game people are playing these days? What's the skate game that's like simulators? It's like, dude, skate was never a skate simulator. Session. Yeah, Session. There you go. Or Skater XL. It's like, bro, you're playing the wrong game. Brother, when I played Skate, I was just fucking doing the coffin. Honestly, though, most of this was just to rage bait people. Most of it was just to rage bait people. And it's working, dude. It's fucking doing... Yes! Hell yeah. What's the option to raising your coat to block bullets without losing armor? I think that goes too deep into John Wick territory. I don't know if I'd want to do that. I think that's a whole ass different game, Maxwell. I should like that comment. Yeah, I should like that comment. The guy called it Fortnite slop. It's like, dude, hell yeah, Fortnite slop. Hold on, I want to look at that person's tweets. Let's see what they say. Oh god. It's all politics, guys. Like literally 90% of the tweets they retweet are like paragraphs and essays. Oh, yeah, okay. All right. What's today's coding goal? Optimization. We need to optimize these FPS drops that I think most of it is occurring due to UI for some fucking reason. But yeah. Did I see the Tony Hawk remakes? Are they making more remakes? I know they made a game that's... I think they're combining Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 into one thing, right? But I remember there was a remake or some sort of remaster a while back because I was watching a streamer play it. I don't understand long-winded people on Twitter who post full-on essays. That's just Twitter, man. Twitter is just that now. It went from, what was the character limit? 300 character limit to, hey, just write whatever the fuck you want. Write a whole ass book if you want to. All you got to do is pay for premium or whatever. Three and 4 just came out. Maybe 3 and 4 is what I'm thinking about then. You know what they should have done? They should have just made Skate like a fucking like retro art style. Dude, hell yeah. That'd go fucking hard. Retro art style. That goes so hard. People are upset because they took the open world out of 4. Maybe that's the game I was looking at then. That might have been it. No, I don't know. Yeah. All right, Pipeline Score School. So here we're gonna add widget. Well, actually, I'll just copy the one that's in the event graph here. Copy. Okay, we're gonna have to change up how this works. Okay, so we're gonna add those children. Let's see if it works. It should show up. Well, actually, it should not show up because it's gonna be hidden, which is great. Perfect for us. I checked the Nexus site of Superfire. It's kind of hilarious that 4 of the 8 mods are just anime skins. I think once I can figure out how character mods are being made in the game, I can then make documentation, and then more people can make things, and then I think that'll be that'll open up, I guess, the floodgates a little bit more to allow people to make it easier. I think that's the biggest thing I want to do. Before I announce any sort of mod support, I want to make sure that we have like a good foundation for people to like know how to do things, right? So they're not kind of going out in the open and whatnot. I do hate that the new Skate is live service. I think it was inevitable. I think if it's fun and I can just play with friends and just have a good time and still unlock things, I think it's fine. That being said, I don't think the thing that's going to kill Skate, the new Skate, the live service one, is going to be the art style or the lack of story. I think what's going to kill it is if the progression fucking sucks balls. And apparently, you'll be able to pay. From what I saw from a leak or something, you can pay money to use to like place objects in the world, and you have to pay money to do that. I think when it gets to that point, brother, your monetization methods are fucked. That's what's going to kill it. Because I think the art style, I think they can nail it out of the park. I think they can have some really good fucking looking, I think they can do some really cool looking shit. They can kind of go a little outside of the realm of realism. Maybe do some stuff like sparks on the trucks or whatever, and when you're like grinding or whatever, shit like that, I think could add to the fun element to it. It doesn't need to be realistic. I really don't think a game should be real. I don't think a Skate game should be realistic. There's already games that fill those fucking needs. It's like whatever. Yeah, I think if they come up with a good monetization method that encourages some level of progression, and I think the thing is with a Skate game, now here's the thing, I'm not a huge skater. I got into it a bit when I was younger, but I'm not like huge on it. I think the thing a lot of skaters like is what's the word? There's a term for that. Like not representation, but like being able to like show your fucking outfits and whatever. Like a lot of it is brand whoring. I think that's, yeah, expression. There's a level of expression, right? Whatever your board is, the type of shoes you wear, fucking shirt, that type of shit. Like that's huge in that world, as far as I know. As far as I've been told by actual skaters. So yeah. We'll see how much of that is locked behind monetization methods. Just to play some character from Girls Frontline. Hey, I won't judge, man. You know, if someone finds that to be their thing, then hell yeah, go off. I'm sure as time goes on, other people will mod in other things. Nike and stuff in the pre-alpha. I would assume so. Yeah. You know, I think the goal should be everyone can be a free player without having to pay, but they can still look different. But they're going to have to make their money somehow, right? They're going to have to make their money somehow. And who fucking knows how they're going to go about doing that. So here we do not want to remove from parent. I'm going to just hide that. Let me comment this. Add back to pool. So that's going to be where we do that. Find event to streak updated. Okay. Let's do a custom event here. Show score pop-up. Could be the new thing here. Yeah. Battle Mercy and Super Fire. Most kids in the USA don't even own a BMX, let alone a cheap skateboard. I couldn't believe it. It's kind of a dying thing, to be honest. I feel like that was the thing like a while back. I think everything will... I have a feeling skating and whatnot will probably make a comeback at some point, as things always do. Just like how apparently long socks are making a comeback. Apparently. Supposedly. I don't fucking know how that happened, but, you know. You do unlock cosmetics by doing challenge stuff, you probably just won't get the outlandish and big brand stuff. Right, right. I could see that being a case. Yo, Condi. One of the outfits in the pre-out was just the Grim Reapers. They're clearly not afraid of going outlandish, which is good. I think they should kind of just go... like, fuck what people are saying and just kind of, you know, be a little goofy with it. Fuck it. I remember a bunch of skate videos, like old skate videos, where they will literally wear the craziest fucking outfit just to be different. Like, I swear I remember seeing an old skate video where someone was wearing like a fucking, like something goofy, you know, like a banana suit or something, you know? Just goofy shit, just to, who cares, man? I feel like people just want things to be so serious, but it's like, man, you're fucking boring. You know, obviously there's you know, there's a line to be drawn at some point, right? Depending on what the game is or what the thing is. But I feel like for a game like Skate, I feel like goofy was the name of the game for Skate specifically. At least when I played it. Now, I'm sure you got some fucking troglodyte or someone who's going to be like, you only played Skate 3. That's not the real Skate. It's like, okay, fuck off. Like, fuck off. You're cringe. I'm sure. I think I swear I literally remember reading someone say that shit. They're like, people who only played Skate 3 never played the real Skate. Go outside. God. I hope they add that mode in the new one. I feel like they have to now. I feel like they have to. I feel like they have to. Okay, so score slots pool. So we're gonna add this to the pool of score slots. I think this is what we're gonna. I think this is the way we're gonna do it. I think this is the way that we're gonna make the pool. I think. I'm gonna play the 5-second skate section in the die mobile game. Does that count? I don't know what that is. I just think gatekeeping a game just because you didn't play the other games, I think that's really funny. I think that's just kind of like extremely humorous. It's like, what do you have going on for your life that you're gatekeeping other games? You're not allowed to enjoy Suit for Hire until you played Suit 3 Hire. You gotta be huh? Okay, so we add that to the pool. We add that to the free slots, which I don't actually know if we need to add this to the screen. But we'll see if this even works. The thing is, I don't think I need to retain a reference to the actual pool. I'm just going to go through the free slots, grab the first child that's in there, move it into the other one, and then we'll do that. Let's see if we can do that right now. So... actually, wait, hold on. So, score slots pool. Okay, let's do get child. Obviously, we're gonna have to do more things with this, but cast to add score. So we're gonna do this first. We're gonna add child to, so we're gonna basically add this to this instead. And then in add score, we made a new event called show score pop-up that will replay the animation. Then we're gonna feed the score or the text and the other thing in here. This is gonna get pretty chaotic. This would be a good C++ moment. This would be this right here. Yeah, this would be a nice moment for some C++. I won't lie. Let's see if that works, because this is like something I'm testing, because I don't know if I can move a slot to another slot. Like, I don't know if that's gonna I don't know if that would work, but let's see if this would at least... Okay. I don't think so. Shit. Add child, vertical box, get child at. Let's see if that calls it. Uh-oh. education-oriented kids show from Germany where an animated mouse just walks in the direction you tab and that's it. Oh shit. Okay, get child at. This is not working. Wait, what? Oh, I'm fucking stupid. I forgot to populate the score pool. Right. Whatever, man. So now it's no longer showing them because there's no longer any objects in the pool, which is good because then that means that cast failed is basically doing its thing. That being said, we are going to have to make a system where we choose the last available slot no matter what. But boat. Let's just for safety, we do not want to remove this from parent. We do not want to do that. So this is, we're gonna comment this as old. So it does seem, it seems like we can actually move things from vertical box to vertical box. It does seem like we can do that. Yeah, is that a good thing to do? Yeah, I'm so for your reference, we're doing a bunch of Slate UI stuff. We discovered that as the game goes on, I think somehow all of the memory was retaining of every single UI object that was added to the game, even though there was no references to them whatsoever. So it would end up making the tick time for all of the slate to become enormous anytime we added new widgets that were ticking. Which was very weird, because I don't know how the fuck that was happening. I don't know how that was happening at all. So instead of making a pool manager that's going to add all the score and it's going to take from like 8 widgets that we have at all times and just do that instead. Yeah. You know, Blake. With what you're explaining right now, is that why my GPU goes haywire running this game? Usually doesn't unless there's a lot happening in game. It's not necessarily the GPU, it's the CPU. What I would say is if your GPU is running haywire, like by default, make sure you have an FPS limit. Make sure you have an FPS limit in the game. If you don't have an FPS limit, Unreal will basically just use all the resources possible. Recently, I think in the latest patch, I made it so it defaults to 90 if you don't have an FPS limit. I know what could be causing that. One sec, typing out a possible route. Okay, if you know for 427, then yeah, let me know. It was off, there was no FPS limit? Yeah, that would probably be what it is. That being said, if you play for a really long time, there is an issue that is known that's like probably affecting everyone. Which is like as you get more kills over time, like it just becomes more laggy. So I'm gonna try to figure out, like that's what I'm trying to figure out here. Why is it called child? Listen, man. Because you got the parent, which is the thing at the top, and then you have children underneath it. That's why but listen. We try not to connect things too much to real life. Goes into widget ownership. So the input pin for creating widget is owning player would default to either the world or the game instance, depending on the UE version. If you always input the player controller, the widget's lifetime is tied to the player controller actor. So level transitions will clean them up with garbage collection. If you create it within a widget, you can call get owning player and input that, and it'll use the parent widget's owner easily. So the problem is, y'all, it still persists even across level transitions. What do I have currently for add widget? To owning player, I use get player controller. The thing is, we destroy the player controller when we transition to the main menu. We tried doing that, transitioning to the main menu and then going back in, and it still causes the lag to occur. Default to you always input the player controller, then the widget's lifetime is tied to the player controller actor. Yeah, which is weird because level transitions are not cleaning them. Create it within a widget, you can call get owning player and input that, and it'll use the parent widgets. Okay, so if we do get owning player instead, then this is a better node to utilize. That being said, we're already in the process of changing this system. I don't think it's a bad thing to do nonetheless, even if we do somehow figure out why this memory issue is occurring. But yeah, one thing that is interesting is our player HUD. Let me see this as well. I guess here we would have to use get player controller. Or we do get player owner? Or get owning player controller? So that one's good for the HUD. And then in here we do get owning player targeted widget. You know, Golden. Just joined the Discord yesterday. I wish I had a bot on the YouTube chat to kind of show the, or maybe I should put that in the description. I don't even know what my stream description is on YouTube. I don't know what it is, but so maybe this will help a little bit. Not sure. It's weird though, because this persisted even across level transitions. And when we go to the main menu, it's a completely different player controller. So unless somehow that player controller wasn't being destroyed, which maybe that's possible. Maybe the player controller, when we transition level, is somehow not being destroyed, which would be weird. I don't know. Then maybe that somehow persists. I don't know. Is there a specific way to destroying a player controller? I don't know. I feel like when you transition level, it should destroy it. So I don't know. Either way, I think this is a healthy thing to do. I think. This must be brutal for OCD folks to do. It can, you know, it can get kind of even for me. I'm not very OCD, but it can get pretty annoying. It can be a bit, you know, you see everything going all over the place, and it can get a little. Like there are things you can do to make it better, but of course, it always does dwindle. Not server travel to the map? No, no, no. When we open a level, we literally just... I think we just call open level. I think we literally just call this. Now, I don't know if that is server travel, but I'm pretty sure when we open another level, I want to say the game mode switches, if the game mode switches. Why is the language in the game forced on the national language of your Steam account? It shouldn't be forced. It should just be default to it. It should only default to it. So it by default, it'll switch to it. But then once you get in, you should be able to switch it. And it should start switching to that. If not, that could be a bug. Like if you set it to English, it should set it to English. Only way they would stay in memory at a certain point is if something like the game instance. Right. And I was looking at the game instance and I couldn't find any references to our score. So... yeah. Bit of a weird situation. Yeah, I looked at the game. Well, let's look through it again. Maybe there's something withstanding within the game instance that I don't know about. No variable references. Let's see. What if we search up score? Widget? Just the end chapter screen. And the loading screen. That's about it. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it is the whole oh, this won't work because we're in a game instance. Which one is this supposed to be? Owning. I think this one has to be player controller because we're within the game instance. That being said, we do have a reference to the player controller from the game instance. So maybe we're not clearing the player controller when we go back to the main menu. Maybe that could be maybe that could be the problem. When we go back to the main menu, I guess we don't clear this and maybe... But the thing is, when you override... Question. Question. When you override a reference to something, like this instance, for example, let's say we call this again. Will that override the past references, or will those references, like, become zombies? Because the old reference would get overwritten, right? I'd be surprised that Yui doesn't clear it because the world should have final authority regarding the actor's memory. That's the thing. I would assume this would get cleared. I guess we can I, is there a way for me to, like, properly fucking see memory? Like, I feel like this watch value doesn't fucking work 90% of the time. Like, I'm curious if we override the reference with something else, is it going to destroy the past references? Or do I have to manually set? Great, no debug data. Man, I wish you could, like, is there a way for me to see fucking memory, like raw memory? Because I think that's the one thing I have a quarrel with Unreal. I look at like Randy do shit and he can see literally the memory of everything. Like, is there a way for me to just debug memory without having to deal with this bullshit where it's like, no debug data? It's like, dude, in C++ you can. If I just look at your RAM sticks, if I run my project through Writer, will I be able to read it? Okay, hold on. I am seeing the current value. I just can't see the output for some reason. None. None. It's nulled. It's nulled. So... I don't think that's the problem. Like, obviously it could be. None. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I think I'd have to open it in Writer to see if I can see that memory. Didn't Randy make his own engine? He uses Odin. Uses Odin. So it's not, it's kind of like doing his own engine and not, I guess. I don't think I could ever get to that level as a game developer, to be honest. I just kind of like doing my fucking thing in Unreal. You know what I mean? Being new has to be daunting. It definitely is. In game development in general, it's something to consider. You're basically, if you are doing things on your own, you just have to consider that you are essentially... you are essentially doing the job of like 15 people. If not more people. So it's something to consider. So it definitely can be daunting if you like try to focus on the big picture. If you try to do the entire big picture. Return score widget to pool. I don't know if these are the common terminologies when it comes to pooling, but fuck it. Okay, so we return this back to its... Nope, what? Message, I absolutely adore Unreal for the high level shit it allows me to do. I also crave just heckin' 6502 assembly. We poke that memory. Like, don't get me wrong. I think there'd be some level of enjoyment, but man, I think it would just take me forever to do anything because I'd have to learn so many things from scratch. Like, don't get me wrong, I've already had to learn a lot, and I'm still going to learn a lot. I'm going to learn more C++ and whatnot, but it's like doing everything in Odin, for example, just seems so, it seems really cool. But I think it's the effect of grass is greener on the other side type shit. I think it's just that, I think that's the problem. It's just the feeling that grass is green on the other side. I'd have to figure out console porting myself. I'd have to figure out how to get audio in. I'd have to figure out, you know, I'm sure I can come up with like some fucking graphics and like graphics thing or whatever. So no problem there, I suppose. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Networking, if I want to get into multiplayer, which I would like to at some point or another. Okay, it's just there's so much. So much. Been working on my game recently. You have to do everything, draw code, write, design. It is, you know, it's definitely one of the harder things to do for sure. Definitely one of the harder things to do. So the funny thing is actually removing from parent, we actually made it so this base score UI never deletes itself, which is already good. I only tried Odin over like 2 weekends, but got it loading levels from LDTK. Why does that sound familiar? Level design toolkit? Some simple 2D collectibles with level swapping. See, I'm sure you were able to get it going. It's just for me, I think I'd fucking trip over everything. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm open to tripping over C++ as I have. I don't know. It seems really cool though. I do think it's sick what people are able to do. Kind of like from scratch-ish. I think it's sick. It's very fucking cool. I just don't know if I don't know if I could do it. Do I need to hold a reference to the base score so that I can call from the parent? I think so. Not the best thing in the world, but either way, we're not going to be deleting it, so it doesn't hold a reference, whatever. Level designer toolkit for the people who made Dead Cells. Ah, very cool. Sheesh. Populate scores. Refresh this. Parent widget. Self. Return to pool. So if this is working properly, we should be able to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. It's already working. Manny, you know you did that. You know you did that wrong. Continue narrating your stream like usual. With the voice. Fucked up, I have. Five push-ups? Man, what the hell? You know, Dark Slayer. Love the game? Hey, hell yeah. Ow. Worst LLM ever. Is it just me making the game, or do I have a group? It's me and a music artist. I do the other stuff. Now, the only way we can know if this is working properly Yeah, look at that. It's still the same values. It's add score 1 through 7 or whatever. But then the question is, if I go main menu, hit play. See, you can see we still have some of those lingering widgets. Do these just not get deleted from this list? I feel like they should get deleted from this list, right? So why are they not being deleted? Are we retaining a reference to the player HUD, which is then retaining a reference to everything else? Maybe that's what's going on. Let's see the game instance. Let's search up player HUD. So yeah, I know we had this discussion way back where I was looking at an article and they were like, this reference is held in memory. Is that true or not? Because one could say that maybe this is holding the reference to the memory or something. Or something fucking stupid. Because this is the only spot in the game instance that holds a reference to the HUD. In the event graph, it holds a weak pointer. It's not something that could keep it from garbage collection. I literally was looking at the code for it on the version they said in the article. Right. Right. The thing I don't like about that article is it only shows like blueprint nodes. It doesn't actually show any of those things holding references, which is what I was kind of annoyed about. And that's like the only article you see of that subject at all, which I feel like we would see a lot more subjects within that realm in other places. So I don't. But then the question is, why is it that we're retaining the reference to the player HUD? Is it BP underscore player HUD that's staying in reference? Can I somehow confirm if the player controller is being deleted properly? It has its own HUD. Do we know this happens in a debug build? Yeah, we did it like yesterday, I think. In C++? All right. If I open it in Writer, can I read all of this memory from Writer, or does it literally have to be like the code has to be in C++? Haven't been working on my games at all since the PC's been messing up. Don't know when I'm going to get back into it. Do you know where the problem is with the PC? You might be able to read it in Writer, but it's a lot more obfuscated by auto-generated C++ nonsense. Well, let's give it a try. Let me open up a project with Writer. Okie dokie. It's the motherboard? Uh-oh. I would get that switched out ASAP then, you know? I'm so fucked if I ever need to change the thermal paste for my PC. No clue where the CPU is and how to even start with that. Brother, YouTube videos. YouTube videos, you'll get it. I'm literally looking at some of the code for the panel slots, and look, it has this whole release slate resources thing, which, by the way, I don't know what release slate resources do, because when I look at it, it's going to a line of code that has nothing inside of it. There's nothing happening inside of it, which this could be an override. It could be an override, which I think it is, because I'm pretty sure virtual is... Maybe it's like, you know what it is? Maybe release slate resources. Oh, right, overwritten by subclasses. Okay, so then where would panel slot be calling like, so content gets called release slate resources. So maybe in panel widget we have the code for release slate resources here in, yeah, right here. It will release slate. I want to find out where the actual cleanup is. Maybe it's in user widget. No? Okay. Where is the real release slate resource? Where the hell is the real release slate resource? I'm looking for the real one. Where is it? Where the fuck is it, man? Maybe I need to go to slot? Oh, I'm in panel slot. Where? Panel widget derives from... Or panel slot derives from panel widget. Panel widget derives from widget. Nothing in there. I don't know how release slate resources is doing anything. I'm sure it is. Like, we got panel slot, but then we looked at release slate resources in here. And it doesn't really do anything specific. It takes the content and releases the slate resources in there. Can we... Would it be S object widget? Maybe it's user widget, which I think we also looked at. This doesn't do anything specific. I literally don't know where this gets called. Here's some stuff you can try. Add a breakpoint for remove from parent, and then when you hit that breakpoint on the right object, for all widgets, add a breakpoint in UObject, begin destroy, and you can see where the checks on the ownership for garbage collection is handled. Is there a I know you said it was hard. Is there like a spot where I can read memory directly in Writer? Like, God, that's one thing I think is missing. And I'm sure it's probably somewhere, being able to read the memory somewhere. When the breakpoint is hit, oh my God, so I just have to set up breakpoints. Hi. I don't even know if that breakpoint is going to get called. Let's go back to main menu. Maybe, do I have to restart the engine when I set up a breakpoint? That'd be funny if I have to. I'm gonna assume I have to restart it. Add a breakpoint in UObject, begin destroy, and you can see where the checks on the... Should I add a breakpoint on begin destroy as well? Rerun this. I don't know if you have to rerun it. Maybe you do have to rerun it every time you add a breakpoint. How do you add a breakpoint? I thought it was this red circle. Yeah, remove breakpoint. It's there, so it is the red circle. Writer might not be connected to UE. Should be. It's got the connection here. And we have Unreal Link. Attached to Unreal Editor. Okay, maybe now it's attached. Coding looks like such a hassle. Why do we have a breakpoint right here? In U button? Well, where's the continue button? Where is the continue button? Resume. There we go. Resume. 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 Oh, it should have a check mark on it. Okay, okay, okay. Why is it fucking breaking here? That's really annoying. I see the check mark. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Okay, so then why is it breakpointing here on this super? For the U button. Why do you hate... How do I turn this off? What is this arrow? God. That's an assert, meaning something actually went wrong. Restart the editor. Okay. Let's restart. Okay, so then from here, I attach to Unreal Editor. Or maybe I don't attach to Unreal Editor. Maybe there's a different button to debug it. And then it's happening again. Okay, so I'm now in play. Let's maybe I attach to editor now. Attach to Unreal Editor. Every time I spawn a button, it fucking freaks out. That's really annoying. Maybe I can't play in Pi? If I hit play from here, yep, it's reading from that. Dude. Dude. There must be some magic button that I don't know about. It's connected. It says connected. I don't know. The breakpoints are not activating. Could be because, I don't know, remove from parent isn't being called or some shit. I don't know. Let's see. Let's go, let's do this. Player HUD. Or, no, here. Event destruct. Let's add a breakpoint here. Okay, and then let's go main menu. Does that call a breakpoint here? No, I would assume not. These are things I want to learn. Bless you nerds who learn how to read and write all that complex looking stuff. Man, listen, I'm not a nerd. I'm a fucking idiot because I don't know how to read this shit. If I attach it right now, am I going to see the memory view even though we're in a breakpoint? Nope. Nope. God, that is... really annoying. Okay, so... that assert is still breaking, by the way, which is absolutely fucking infuriating, which I think basically stops me from being able to do any of this. Let's find, instead of remove from parent, let's add a destruct. What is this a parent of? User widget. Okay, that's probably what it is. So we don't want to go in widget, we want to go in user widget. Okay, so we are getting the destruct. But I can't resume anymore. Even if I... How do you resume ignoring a breakpoint? How the fuck... Okay, maybe I hit pause breakpoints? Okay, there we go, okay. And then we'll go here. And then we'll resume the breakpoint. And then I'll go back to the main menu. And we called destruct. But what are we calling destruct on? The aggro meter. There's a ton of those.